Welcome back to today's Explainer. We have a really fascinating one for you today. Instead of just running through isolated headlines for our July 14, 2026 daily briefing, we're going to do something a bit different. We are going to connect four distinct, seemingly completely separate news items to reveal a much larger, honestly incredibly compelling picture of India's multifaceted development. So what do high-tech bond trading, physics prodigies, disaster readiness, and sanitation workers all have in common? I know, it sounds like the setup to a really complicated joke, right? But the reality is actually far more inspiring. You see, these four areas represent vital pillars of a nation's growth: economic infrastructure, scientific excellence, grassroots resilience, and social justice. By understanding how each of these is advancing today, we get a literal masterclass in holistic national progress. Okay, let's dive straight into this. Today's agenda covers four key pillars. Number 1, modernizing government bond trading. Number 2, an historic physics Olympiad victory. Number 3, empowering local disaster volunteers. And number 4, dignity for sanitation workers. Starting with pillar number 1, modernizing government bond trading, and the RBI's push for transparency. Okay, so first up, we have NDSOM. That stands for Negotiated Dealing System Order Matching. Basically, it's a screen-based, electronic, anonymous order matching system launched by the Reserve Bank of India for the secondary market trading of government securities. Now, why is this making the headlines today? Well, Bloomberg literally just introduced the very first electronic trade in Indian government bonds through its terminal by connecting directly to this exact platform. This is a massive leap forward in modernizing how the nation's financial gears turn, linking global tech right into India's sovereign bond market. Now, you might be wondering who actually gets to play in this sandbox. And what's interesting is that this is absolutely not for your everyday retail day traders. Membership here is highly regulated. It's restricted to major institutional heavyweights. We're talking banks, primary dealers, insurance companies, mutual funds, and a few other select eligible entities. By pulling all these massive financial players into a single, anonymous, electronic space, the RBI is creating a highly efficient and deeply secure environment for managing the nation's debt. Ultimately, this all boils down to one word: transparency. By utilizing direct bids, direct offers, and a request for quote or RFQ facility, the platform brings total visibility and efficiency to the buying and selling of central and state government securities as well as treasury bills. It completely strips away the opaque nature of old-school bond trading. It ensures that the market for government debt is fair, open, and electronically streamlined. It's just a massive foundational win for the economy. Moving right along to our second pillar: an historic physics Olympiad victory, where India takes the world stage in science. Number 1. At the 56th International Physics Olympiad, which was held this year in Bucaramanga, Colombia, India absolutely made history. They didn't just place well, they jointly secured the world number 1 rank out of 87 competing countries. They share this top podium spot globally with China, Kazakhstan, Russia, South Korea, and Taiwan. This is just an incredible testament to the extraordinary scientific potential that is being realized on the global stage right now. And how exactly did they achieve that top rank? Well, it all comes down to 5 students. Think about that. Out of 381 of the absolute brightest students globally, India sent a team of 5. And all 5 brought home gold medals. That is a 100% gold strike rate against the very best young physicists in the entire world. No way around it, that's just mind-blowing. We absolutely have to read their names out loud, honoring our phenomenal gold medalists today: Kanishk Jain, Ridesh Anant Bendale, Rishit Garg, Shrest Suraya, and Svarat Joshi. And you know, we also have to give a massive nod to the institutions standing behind them. India's Olympiad program doesn't just happen by accident, right? It's meticulously coordinated by the Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education, which is a national center of the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research under the Department of Atomic Energy. It's the perfect example of how institutional support can unlock raw, world-beating talent. All right, shifting gears to pillar number 3, empowering local disaster volunteers, focusing on grassroots resilience under the NDMA. The big news here centers around the Yuva Apta Mitra scheme, launched back in 2016 by the National Disaster Management Authority, or NDMA. The whole purpose of this scheme is to create a robust network of trained local volunteers for immediate disaster rescue and relief. And recently, the state of Gujarat, acting through the Gujarat State Disaster Management Authority, successfully trained 4,526 volunteers across 17 districts, and that's just in their very first phase of this rollout.
Let's look at how this builds a vital chain of survival on the ground. When a disaster strikes, there's always this terrifying, dangerous gap between the initial event and the time it takes for specialized rescue teams to arrive. Sadly, that is often where lives are lost. By having highly trained regular citizens right there, already in the community, the Yuva Opta Mitra scheme ensures that life-saving rescue and relief operations begin instantly. They are bridging that critical gap before professional, specialized teams can physically reach the area. Now, the program in Gujarat has an ultimate target of training 11,850 volunteers. But here's the really cool part. The goal mandates a strict 50-50 gender parity. 50% women, 50% men. Because when a disaster strikes, community resilience is absolutely a shared responsibility. Empowering women as first responders isn't just a nice idea, it's completely essential to building a truly robust disaster management strategy.
And finally, that brings us to our fourth pillar, dignity for sanitation workers, and the Namaste Scheme's mission for social justice. Today, July 14th, actually marks the third Namaste Day, observing 3 years since the launch of the Namaste Scheme in 2023-24 by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Namaste stands for National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. As the name suggests, it is entirely focused on the welfare, safety, and dignity of sewer and septic tank workers. It's a huge paradigm shift from hazardous manual labor to a fully mechanized modern ecosystem. So the crucial point is really outlined in these 4 transformative goals. The scheme aims for absolutely zero sanitation-related fatalities. Zero. It demands the complete elimination of manual scavenging. It mandates the establishment of emergency response sanitation units. And crucially, it doesn't just stop at physical safety. It actively promotes social security and skill development by encouraging self-employment through self-help groups. It's a comprehensive safety net and an empowerment tool all rolled into one. Fundamentally, this is about promoting a mechanized sanitation ecosystem for dignity and safety. You know, a nation simply cannot call itself fully developed if its most essential workers are forced to endure hazardous, undignified conditions. Eliminating manual scavenging and ensuring the social security of sanitation workers isn't just a policy goal, it is a paramount moral obligation and a true measure of our societal progress. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, looking at the daily briefing through 4 very distinct lenses. From the awesome transparency of the NDSOM bond trading platform, to the gold medal triumphs of our young physicists at the Olympiad, to the life-saving community volunteers of the Yuva Opta Mitra scheme, and finally, the profound human dignity restored by the Namaste scheme. So I want to leave you with this question to ponder. Which of these 4 pillars, economy, science, resilience, or social justice, do you believe will drive the greatest long-term impact for the nation's future? Think critically about how they might even rely on one another. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.